Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to do a quick overview on NurtureFlow and how you can set up campaigns, create flows, and how you can automate a lot of the important tasks in your day-to-day business, and how it allows you to communicate both with your clients and yourself internally in your team, and just keep your business flowing, organized, and helping you build relationships and nurture relationships with your clients better. So let's jump into it. So NurtureFlow, once you're logged into your dashboard, on the left side here, you're going to click NurtureFlow. You're going to see a list of any active campaigns and whatnot. You can create a new campaign. I'm just going to edit an existing one, but the process is the same. So right here. So first thing you're going to do is select contact segments. So in this case, I'm just going to select all the contacts I have. I'm going to click next. And this is where you create your flow. So it's very interactive UI. It allows you to visualize and see exactly how the flows are going to be. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to create a flow surrounding on closing dates. This is going to be a common use case. So first thing we do is select a date where the flows are surrounded on. So I'm going to select a closing date. So now we can sort of, think about the process of a closing date and think of things that will benefit you, your clients, your team, on keeping track of such an important date like closing date. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a flow before. So I'm going to say 5 days before closing date, I'm going to send myself an SMS. So I'm going to send an SMS to, in this case, it's myself, the contact owner, and there's a bunch of, you can preload text here, you can edit text. So I'm going to select this one. So closing coming up. So 5 days before the closing date, I'm going to get a text to myself like this saying, hey, reminder for first and last name. These are dynamic tags, closing. So again, I'm going to get this text message internally to myself just as a way to remind me. It's going to be in my calendar regardless, but for me, I think it's important to just get that reminder so it's top of mind in my head. So again, you can edit this message here, this text message, but that's what I'm going to get 5 days before the closing. So I'm going to click save. Okay, so that's set up. Now, on the day of the closing, what I'm going to do is send a text message to the client. So action, I'm going to send an SMS to the contact, and I'm going to select, actually in this case, I'm going to create a new message. So the name it day of closing to client. So I'm going to type my message. So, hey, first name. Again, you can do dynamic tags here. Hey, first name. Congratulations. Your closing is today. Let me know if you have any questions or need help with anything. Very excited for you. Talk soon. Okay, so just a personal little message to the client on the day of the closing. Perfect. Okay. So again, as of now, 5 days before the closing, I'm gonna get that text message to myself, just as to be top of mind, remember it. On the day of the closing, again, this is already gonna be in my calendar because my calendar is connected, but the client will also get a text message on the day of. Now, the beauty now comes after in terms of the nurturing and the follow-up. So I'm going to set up another flow now 30 days after closing. So let's say 30 days after closing, I'm going to send a SMS to the client. Let's see if any of these make sense here. No, these are just test ones. So I'm going to create a new SMS. So 30-day after close to client. So this message, it's just going to be a quick follow-up. So, hey, first name, Can't believe it's already been 30 days since closing. How's everything going so far? Let me know if there's anything I could help with. Talk soon. All right, so just a quick little message, follow-ups, keeps the conversation flowing. So I'm going to set that up 30 days after. I'm going to do another one now 60 days after closing with another text message, just another touch point. I'm going to call this one 60 days after closing to client. And, similar type of message like, hey, first name. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to check in and see if there's anything I could help with. Have a great day. Just a little, touch point with your client. So that's set up now 60 days. So again, recap. So 5 days before closing, I'm going to get a text message to myself, just so it's front of mind. On the day of the closing, that text message is going to go to the client. And then 30 days after the closing, you're going to send another follow-up text message to them. 60 days after closing, you're going to send another follow-up to them. And now, after this, what I'm going to do is set up a recurring. So I'm going to do every 2 months, let's just do. So every 2 months after closing, I'm going to set a recurring follow-up to myself. So this is going to be, I'm going to send or you can add it to your calendar. But in this case, what I'll do is just send a text message to myself every 2 months saying follow up. So I think this is the one that I can use. I'm just going to edit this one. So follow up to client follow up. I'm going to call it follow up, description, internal. And again, this is a text message to myself, just as a reminder. So I'm going to it's going to say follow up with, and then I'm going to put in first name, last name. Okay, so that's it. So, recurring every 2 months, it's set up. So I'm going to get a text message that gets sent to myself, just saying follow up with this person 2 months. And then from there, you can do what you want. Call them, text them, but at least it's in front of you. It's time to continue nurturing that relationship. And you can also add this to your calendar as well. So 2 month follow up with, again, first name, last name. So you can also add that to your calendar as well. You can do either or, but just an example of what you can do. So now if you add it to your calendar, you're going to see this on your calendar every 2 months dynamically with that client's first and last name. So to follow up with them. It's in your calendar. That's a sort of a task that you have for the day. So that's it. So that's the flow. So that's an example of a very common use case, a very important use case surrounding closing dates. Very important to keep the conversation going, keep the interactions going with the client. That's how you build solid relationships, get referrals. So NurtureFlow really assists with that. So again, just to recap, closing date is the day we're surrounding this flow. 5 days before closing date, you're going to get a text to yourself, just as a reminder of the closing date. Keep it top of mind. The day of closing, you're going to send that personal text to the client. 30 days after closing, you're going to send another personal text to the client. 60 days after closing, you're going to send another text to the client. And then every 2 months recurring, you're going to send or an internal text message is going to be sent to you, reminding you to follow up with the client. So that's just a quick example of NurtureFlow. When I click save now, so closing date flow. So yeah, once you set this, anyone who falls under this scenario will get this flow automatically. So it's a one-time setup, and then boom, it's set up for you ongoing. So that's it. That's a example of a quick flow, and I hope this helps. As always, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.